fucking hated that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Every part of it was wrong.
Yeah. So, we got a good American Godzilla movie?
We made a good American Godzilla movie. We made a good American Godzilla movie.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's like everything that was bad and wrong and misguided about like 2014, they just fucking nailed in this movie. And it felt like yes, like you took that big budget Hollywood polish and you made a fucking Godzilla movie with it. You didn't try to take a more artistic slant to it. No, you made a fucking Godzilla movie. And it fucking ruled. Holy shit. So, this movie kicks all of the ass. Really goddamn good. If you've seen the trailers, you've seen it. Big monster fighty movie. It is that. There is a shit ton of human character involvement. It's really weird. The reviews for this movie have been the movie's just all monster fights and there's no story and no characters and blah blah blah. And I'm like, yeah, no, they're there.
But see, from the other side, I keep hearing people bitching that there's still too much of the humans in this movie.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. I've been hearing too. The critics are saying that it's just big dumb monster fighty action and nothing else, and casuals seem to be oh god, there's still so much fucking human shit going on in this movie, and I'm like, no, fuck it. This movie was the balance, because the problem in 2014 wasn't that there's too much human bullshit going on in this movie. It's that the human bullshit was really boring, the characters had nothing going on, and it felt completely disconnected from the events. It wasn't people getting caught up in the bullshit of this. It was some guy who just kept inserting himself into these situations.
It was bad. It was all around
bad.
And if you're complaining that there's too much big dumb monster fighting, I don't A, think that you watched the movie, or B, understand what a fight is and what its purpose is in a visual medium.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, every fight, it wasn't just now we're just gonna have these two you
guys get that Godzilla's a character in this movie, right?
Yeah, which is awesome, because this movie actually gets to be about Godzilla, because one of the big complaints about 2014 is that Godzilla shows up really late and he's only in 8 minutes of the total film. And I was thinking about it, something that hadn't really clicked with me before is that, man, Godzilla is not even the focus of that movie whatsoever. Not even just Godzilla's not in it and it builds up to him. It is just, if you've never seen a Godzilla film before, you don't understand what the point of this big monster is. Because Godzilla 2014 is about the Mutos, and it's about military jackass character. That is it. And Godzilla just kind of wanders in and kicks the shit out of the monsters, and that's it. You don't really understand what his purpose is, other than to kick the shit out of the monsters, because he doesn't have a purpose in it.
No,
and nobody yeah.
So we cut to King of the Monsters, and it seems like there's been a 30-year time jump, even though it's only been 5, and that we've gone full tilt into late Heisei era Japanese Godzilla movies, where Monarch's back and they have a shit ton of bases with giant laser cannons and submarines and flying wings, and it's fucking cool now.
Yeah, no, that's the biggest thing about this film is that they basically made Monarch into, before they were S.H.I.E.L.D. from Iron Man. Now they are S.H.I.E.L.D. from Avengers. They are every crazy sci-fi Japanese organization that is monitoring Godzilla in every Japanese Godzilla film. Like, they repurposed them for that. Which, unfortunately, I think this... Okay, we're gonna get into spoilers at some point. Like, the movie fucking rules. Go watch it. Fucking... I give it like a good 8 out of 10. Like, it's a big, dumb, awesome monster movie. I had a great time. Go watch it. Okay, getting into spoilers. So, I love how, now that, like, these movies have converted themselves to schlock, Ken Watanabe and Sally Hawkins are just too good for this shit, and they just had to be written out of the series. And by written out, I mean died. And like Sally Hawkins' character fucking eats it quite literally at the maw of fucking Ghidorah, and it happened so abruptly that I went, "Did Sally Hawkins' character just die?" And then later on in the scene, I see like her black and white portrait like on a monitor, and I'm like, oh, I'm genre savvy enough to know what that means. Yeah, okay, she died. And then Ken
had the word deceased written next to it.
Did it have deceased? Okay, I didn't even see that. I just saw like her thing. So I saw like her picture in black and white next to the missing wife's picture. I did not see that it's deceased. And then fucking, like, I feel like it's kind of bad on the film that's like you killed off her character so abruptly that you have to like put it on a screen so you know. But yeah, and then Ken Watanabe gets his fucking beautiful Ken Watanabe, you know, honorable sacrifice moment next to Godzilla. But yeah, so yeah, like I mean, there's a lot of, like, this movie is dumb. This movie is dumb in a lot of the same ways that Godzilla 2014 was, but unlike Godzilla 2014, it never pretends like it's being high art. It never goes like, no, we're too good to be a big dumb monster movie. No, we're too good to indulge in all this monster schlock. You know, we're about the characters and the people and the guys on the ground having to endure the natural disasters as Godzilla and the Mutos. No. Yeah, no, that movie is so up its own ass for being so fucking stupid. God damn it. Like, you know, say what you want about Michael Bay. Michael Bay knows he's making dumb fucking movies for dude bros. Like he knows what he is doing. Gareth Edwards thinks he is making high art and just making dumb fucking meaningless
making
films.
A statement. Is the statement that you're an asshole?
Yeah, right? It's just like, yeah, his statement. I'm better than you. Have high art Godzilla film. Oh, well, what's it saying? Nothing really. Godzilla's a force of nature. Really? Because he seems very sentient in this film.
So,
asshole.
King of Monsters has like 4 to 5 times the notable human characters that 14 did.
Yes.
And they're all better.
Yeah.
This is one of those movies where like everyone's in it. Like, oh hey, it's that guy.
And
that, hey, look, it's that guy.
Yeah, fucking like I knew we were in for a very different Godzilla film when the bad guy from Last Action Hero shows up and caps a motherfucker through glass.
It's a great shot.
Apparently you know him from something else.
Oh no, that's where I know him from. I called him Tywin Lannister because that's what you have to say these days to get people to know who he is.
Yeah, no, like he showed up and I'm like, oh my god, man, he's aged like shit. Wait, how long was Last Action Hero? Oh fuck, how old am I? Oh shit. But yeah, no, like that guy is great. He's hamming it up. Sci-fi guys are spewing sci-fi jargon. We got the oxygen destroyer. Yeah.
The fucking I love it how the actual military rolls up at that point in the movie. They're like, hey, what's up? We're the entire U.S. Armed Forces, and we're gonna do something badass now.
Mm-hmm. Like every part of that, just like this movie did a thing that I typically hate when, like, you know, when we're gonna like reinvent like this established franchise, and we're gonna do we're reinventing an established franchise, and we're going to like do a thing where we're gonna do like the opposite of like what the established franchise did to be creative, and they usually kind of end up missing the point of a thing. But because of how they've recontextualized the relationship between Serizawa and Godzilla in this film, when Serizawa isn't the one who did the Oxygen Destroyer, it's the military, and now Serizawa is using an actual nuke to reinvigorate Godzilla. I'm like, yeah, no, like, in the context of this, is like, oh, like, you're doing something completely different from the polar opposite of, of the original Godzilla in this, and it ruled. Like, it was a great moment. Fucking Serizawa. Like, I fucking love, like, just, I actually cared more about, like, Serizawa and his pocket watch this time. Like, yeah, like, Serizawa, a reoccurring character that came back from the 2014, because they put so much of the focus on him this time around, and not just have him show up for, like, 3 minutes of movie for some exposition and to say, let them fight. Like, I really goddamn cared about him, and just, he's still kind of batshit crazy, where it's just like, Godzilla, he is God, he's nature,
Godzilla's on our side, like, everybody in the government's like, do you have any proof of that? And he's like, no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he's still, like batshit fucking insane, but, like, yeah, no, he rules in this movie. And, like, he's Ken Watanabe it up throughout this movie. The main focus of this, the human character this time, because, we need to have the family. That is the focus of the film. And this time, though, the family is actually related to the events. Like, they are an integral part of the film. Because you have the mother, who is part of this eco-terrorist organization, and she is, she has, like, the daughter, and then, like, some guy who had created the tech that she's using to awaken all the Titans. Which I love the fact that, like, they've now retroactively been like, oh yeah, like the Titans, of ancient myths, of the proto-civilization of humanity fucking worshipped as literal gods.
Yeah, that was a really cool recontextualization.
Mm-hmm.
Some of its application didn't make any sense, but it's still really fucking awesome. Also, they do the thing of like we go into Gaia theory of they're the Earth's way of like maintaining balance. Like, I feel like giant monsters is a really overcomplicated and specific way to do that. So let's go back to they're just the old gods thing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, when she showed up at first, like they started introducing the core family, I was sitting in the theater going, that's not Elizabeth Olsen, right? Because then you have like her daughter Madison, and like with her haircut, she looks kind of like the kid from the first movie. I'm like, this isn't the same family, right? Is that their stepdad? I don't.
Oh man, that would have been fucking weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, thing is though, that couldn't have been Elizabeth Olsen because she wasn't safe in a bunker far from the danger, while also pretending like she was in mortal danger this entire time.
When I saw the flashback shot of her holding a kid, like Godzilla's going over, I'm like, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. What's going on?
Yeah, no. Like, oh man. Like, when it shows, like, the movie opens with, like, the battle from 2014, and, someone being at ground level, I'm like, movie, don't remind me of that other movie. Fuck you, okay? And, like, man, let me just say, like, on paper, as backstory to this movie, 2014 sounds awesome. I feel bad for
this is important.
Yeah.
You do not have to watch 2014 for this.
You don't.
At all.
You don't. Because honestly, this movie changes so much stuff from 2014. Like, it retcons so much. Because, 2014 kind of waffles around on, what Godzilla is, what his purpose is, And honestly, even in retrospect now, it doesn't even fucking make sense because... they talk about, the Mutos being, a predator of the Godzillas, and, the Godzilla was a race of things. And now it's just, there was the one Godzilla, it is the old god, and it's a... So, that doesn't even make sense. Wait, so were there a bunch of Godzillas, or was this the Godzilla?
And they also went back and they're like, oh no, our nuclear testing woke him up. That was on us.
Yeah, that was totally a thing we did. So, yeah, this movie... fudges a lot of details of... Because it really has to try to take what was in 2014 and just make whole new lore. So now all these giant monsters existing make sense in this world. And yeah, no, like it does it just fine. And yeah, like 2014 works better as like a Wikipedia article now than it does a movie. And just as background to this one, because like I said, like it changes a lot of the details about these. Like Monarch is the only consistent thing, really, and even Monarch is very different because, like I said, like before they went from like secret military organization to they're fucking SHIELD now. They have fucking helicarriers and fucking underwater bases with laser cannons. The fucking rules. This fucking movie rules.
It really does.
Like fucking goddamn it, like King Ghidorah shows up and he is just he's so fucking cool. Cause like he shows up out of the Arctic and just he's about to like fucking like murder some bitches, and then he also murders Sally Hawkins in the middle of all that. But like fucking King Ghidorah is shown to have like quite the personality in this, and like he like the middle head is just a total dickhead to the head on the left, just like fuck you, and like because they're really establishing that like these are not big lumbering monsters like animals, but they are intelligent sentient creatures. It does kind of make sense now where like King Ghidorah is like getting up in the face of people and shit, just really reveling and murdering the shit out of people because he's just a total piece of shit.
Yeah, like with the scale ups, with like I'm a diehard fan of people in suit Godzilla movies. That's the best. This is a whole different thing where they are now like they're not giant monsters, they are antediluvian gods, and it's fucking metal as shit, and it's amazing.
What the fuck's an antediluvian?
Antediluvian, pre-flood.
Oh, okay.
Just way before human history.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, so, yeah, fucking King Ghidorah is just, oh my god, I love the fact that they actually got to call him Monster Zero. I was like, oh yeah, he's Monster Zero. And then, at some point in the movie, they found like some extra lore about him, and it's like, oh yeah, they called him Ghidorah. It's like, okay. And then they also kind of slide in the king by being like, oh, he's a false king because he's from space. He's not actually part of this. God, they fit in so much cool fucking sci-fi lore shit. Like I understand that critics don't like this movie. This movie wasn't for them. It's just plain and simple. And like I really wish critics would view movies as like, okay, like this movie isn't for me. Like, what is this movie trying to do? And like, yeah, it is so rooted in like what its genre is. It is a big schlocky sci-fi dumb monster movie. So you have lots of technobabble. You have a lot of fucking like exposition about lore and gods and like this fucking crazy ass organization and all the things that they are doing. And like here's like this piece of tech that fucking creates whale sounds and that like subdues or angers these motherfuckers, and it's
that's the thing about it. Like if you think this movie is too dumb, and like that's a problem and it makes it bad, like you don't understand what this is, and not to be a sixth grader, but that makes you dumb.
Yeah, it's not like a monster movie can't be like high art.
It is.
Huh?
This movie is fucking high art.
I mean, it's really... See, okay. Now, this is where I start going to get to the dumb nitpicky shit.
Of which there is.
Yeah. This movie is structured like shit a lot of times. And it is very easy to lose track of the narrative. And, like they'll hard cut to a location. And I'll be like, oh... I guess these characters were here this whole time. I didn't know that. Or girl shows up at the MetLife Stadium, and I'm like, wow, we didn't really I know like she overheard the conversation, but boom, she's here. I didn't realize that they were that close to the MetLife Stadium that little girl could have gotten there that quickly.
Well, yeah, she learned that from the eavesdropping that they were right there outside of Boston.
Yeah, I just didn't know that she was like close up to actually even walk there and get there in a reason. Because she's a kid, she had to walk there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's little things like that where just like, oh yeah, like when Mothra hatches, and I'm like, whoa, wait, they were at that base? There was, okay.
There were people there, yeah.
Yeah, and oh yeah, there were people there, and like I didn't realize that base was right outside that waterfall. Because I thought like that, because I didn't realize that was the same base from the beginning of the movie, because they said like, oh, Mothra went up to this waterfall. I thought like Mothra...
Oh, no, that was intense. They established that base when they followed Mothra there.
Okay. Yeah, see, once again, I just could not... Like, yeah, it's a lot of that, and just, once again, like, always just kind of losing track of the narrative of what character... Like, I had to spend like 1 minute into every new scene going, no. Okay, I'm caught up with the movie now.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of jumping around.
Yeah, so like it's really kind of a jumbled mess, and I feel like it almost has the Batman v Superman problem of, I feel like I need an establishing shot for this, but there are establishing shots, so I don't know what I'm missing here, like what this movie needed to make more sense to me and not make me lose track of it as often as I did.
Well, for that, it would have had to have slowed down and done a lot more like interstitial stuff, which is what this movie didn't need and couldn't have.
Yeah. But yeah, like as far as like its own craft of being big, dumb, awesome ass monster movie, it does it. And man, Godzilla actually gets to be the point of this fucking movie. Because Godzilla was like a very tacked on thing that this kid came up and fucked up the big scary... Like, it'd be like if you watch Cloverfield, and if at the tail end of Cloverfield, Godzilla just rolled up and wrecked the shit out of Clover, and you went, wait, what? Was this a stealth Godzilla movie this entire time?
I mean, if you were there in the lead up to Cloverfield, yeah, that would have been acceptable.
I mean, fair. I mean, shit, at this point, I think we would have accepted if Voltron had shown up and killed the Cloverfield monster. Oh.
So, okay, you've got all the human stuff, and a lot of it's dumb, but a lot of it's dumb in that earnest, Heisei sci-fi kind of way.
Yeah, it's a pulpy sci-fi film.
And then you have the monster battles.
Yes.
And the monster battles are fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this movie makes Rodan badass. Rodan!
More like Rodam.
The fucking bitch-ass Starscream
Oh god!
of the Godzilla universe.
I feel like you're throwing shade on Starscream, and I'm not okay with that.
Depends on your version of Starscream.
True fact.
Because you've got, like, the rundown is Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, Rodan, and then we get into the weird ones that are kind of in other establishing shots. The big mammoth one, the weird crustacean spider one. Mm-hmm. One of the Mutos is back.
Yeah, there's a new Muto, which I'm fine with because it kind of established that there were multiple Mutos anyhow. So there being like another Muto that happened to be there to just suck Godzilla's dick at the end of this movie. But yeah, so yeah, you got like all the monsters. The monster action sequences in this are fucking ridiculous. Mm-hmm. I really want to see this on Blu-ray or maybe an Adobe Cinema fucking screening. Like, so, okay, like our fucking AMC, and apparently like a lot of AMCs, instead of putting Godzilla in Adobe Cinema screening in its beautiful 4K, glory, put Rocket Man, the fucking Elton John biopic in there. I'm sure, whatever. Whether it's a good movie or not, that's whatever. This is a big blockbuster, over-the-top fucking balls-out crazy movie. I want to see this on a 4K fucking giant-ass screen with awesome fucking surround sound. What the fuck, AMC? Like, this was the movie I wanted to see, not fucking Rocketman, fucking Godzilla King of Monsters. Because some of the visual information, that's with the fights is kind of hard to read at times, because everywhere Ghidorah goes, there is a storm. Ghidorah he is the storm bringer, quite literally.
Motherfucking Tiamat up in this bitch. Like, I was telling Zeon this story. When I was like 8, mm-hmm. I went to my local library, and they had a bunch of like big molded plastic and hard rubber Godzilla toys. and one of those was a Ghidorah. And I had never seen a Godzilla movie at that point. So I'm like, this is the most badass thing I've ever seen in my life. And then years later, I actually saw King Ghidorah in a Godzilla movie, and I was like, This was the first time King Ghidorah was as fucking awesome as he was when I was 8 years old, looking at a foot-tall plastic toy.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah, fucking Ghidorah is just so badass. He looks so fucking cool. Like something that I really appreciate, because like I said, like the visual the visual information in this movie is sometimes kind of hard to read with the action sequences, because like it's usually always dark. It's usually always storming, or shit's on fire because Rodan, and it does kind of obstruct things visually. But they do make things very readable, all things considered, because fucking Ghidorah is bright fucking yellow and constantly arcing lightning. Godzilla is constantly radiating blue. And at the end of the movie, he's just like fucking radiating red. And
oh my god, like right when he does that, the camera does the dumbest, most awesome thing possible. Because he's like charging up to do the pulse, and like the camera's starting to shake because everything's shaking. And right before it happens, it goes full handheld shaky cam, like, whoa! It's so good.
Yeah, Rodan's fucking, like, glowing red, Mothra is, like, blue and radiant and gorgeous and awesome, and, oh man, they gave Mothra, like, these totally bitchin', like, claws and shit, and let's just say, kudos to Mothra, because that bitch is a bug type, and it took down a flying fire. Suck it, Rodan, you punk-ass bitch. You had double type advantage, and you still went out like a punk bitch.
I mean, they rendered all of these creatures in just the most enormous, gorgeous, like photorealistic revision kind of way. And they still did all of their special moves. Rodan did the twisty thing, Mothra's string-shotting bitches.
Oh my
it's
god!
So good!
You just reminded me of my favorite shot of the movie.
Yeah.
When Mothra shows up and like string shots Ghidorah's heads to a fucking skyscraper, and then in the reflection of the skyscraper, you just have Godzilla, ah shit, here we go again.
Big fucking brick shithouse Chungus Godzilla.
He football tackles him through that fucking building, and it's just the raddest shit ever. Also, man, Godzilla hitting peak fucking radiation, just arcing radiation, fucking shockwaving the fuck out of Ghidorah, fucking just eating away at it, like just fucking disintegrating his face. I was really worried that the mom was gonna live through that shit. I was just like, movie? Okay, I am willing to accept the plot armor in this movie because you're not trying to pretend to be a smart, serious, like, grounded drama piece. You're being a big, dumb action monster movie. I will accept plot armor. If that woman is going to survive this, I'm calling this movie bullshit. She doesn't. Or very least, she never shows up again in the movie, so I am assuming she was irradiated to nothing. But, this movie, like, because, like, the one thing everybody remembers from 2014 is Godzilla grabbing a Muto by the mouth and bah! In the dopest 5 seconds of cinema ever. So this movie has to then, like, one-up that. Like, how the hell are we gonna fucking one-up? No. Fucking after the big arcing radiation explosion thing Godzilla does, you just see, like, open wastelands and torn-apart buildings and fire desolation.
Like, by that time you feel it. It's over. Like, yeah. Okay. And, like, the rubble, like, okay, we're gonna get the triumph shot. Awesome. I'm ready to go.
And then King Ghidorah's head comes into frame. Oh, fuck.
I'm not ready for round 3.
Fuck. He's still Wait. Oh, my God. King Ghidorah's head is just inside of Godzilla's mouth. And Godzilla swaying it back and forth, and then burr, 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 burr. Oh, it's so fucking cool! Oh my god! This movie is so... Like, there are so many times in this movie I just audibly went... It just started... Like, I saw it, and I clapped. Yeah. Like, this movie... Oh my god! Like, oh my god, we got, like, America made a dope-ass Pokemon movie and a dope-ass Godzilla movie months apart. What the shit, man?
Oh my god.
Oh, it's so... Like, this movie was just like, we're gonna be cool. Like, I feel, like, so validated that, like, like, you know, these small, low-budget fucking directors that I love are just being handed huge fucking projects. Like, Travis Knight, the guy who did, Kubo and the Two Strings, did fucking Bumblebee. Someone awesome also did Shazam that I liked one of their previous movies, did Shazam. And now, we have fucking Michael Dougherty, the guy who did Krampus, doing this. And it's just like, yes, I feel vindicated for being like, guys, you should watch these awesome dope movies, and nobody wants to watch my awesome movie fucking recommendation. And now these guys are getting big blockbuster fucking budget movies, and now everybody gets to see these awesome directors be fucking awesome. It's just so good, and it feels so validated for my taste. And now everybody can agree with me, yes, this director is awesome and doing awesome shit. And Gareth Edwards is still a pretentious piece of shit, and his movie sucked.
True. So, okay. We finally made a great American Godzilla movie. Mm-hmm. We have also... so, whenever you talk about movies as a whole, that discussion generally comes up. Like, can you name a sequel that's better than the original? And people always go to Aliens and The Godfather Part 2. And
Dark Knight.
Yeah, and then there's a bunch around that are like, yeah, you could make that argument, and it's a discussion. Now, we have Godzilla King of the Monsters, which is a great movie, and Godzilla 2014, which is a shit pile.
Yeah, and the thing is, though, there are going to be people who are still going to disagree with it. They'll say, well, wrong.
They're all
wrong.
They can go shove the extended edition of Batman vs. Superman right up their ass.
True facts. And, like it is insane to think, like this is the greatest turnaround I've seen for a franchise since Belmont's Revenge, where they took just the worst fucking Castlevania of all time and made a great one out of those fucking mechanics. And here, it's just like you built on the... Because it wasn't even like Godzilla 2014 was, like a good foundation for more Godzilla movies or more monster movies. In fact, it was so bad of a foundation that they basically scrapped all of the shit from that movie, all like the lore stuff, and rebuilt all new lore for this film.
So now the series goes Kong Skull Island, Godzilla King of the Monsters. It's weird that we let off with the King Kong movie instead of the Godzilla movie, isn't it? Yeah, it is.
Suck it, 2014 fans. Your movie sucked. Sorry. Not sorry.